name is Tanish Kohli, and welcome to the third video of this playlist called Introduction to Python. In the previous video, we have seen some basic functionality of Python, so we are just going to continue from where we left. Let's just start with string. So let me tell you what strings are. So this is how a string is defined in C style. I'm showing you this in C style because it is pretty easy to understand, and there are some changes, a little bit changes in Python which I'm not sure about yet. So I will be telling you this way how it is done. C strings. So what is a string? It is a collection of characters. Like if there are 26 characters in English, you make a word. So that word is called a string in programming language. You make sentence from those words. It is also called a string in this programming, in any programming language. So uh, it has index, it has a variable, and it has an address. We see they have consecutive addresses. That means 2340. So the next will be 2341, 42, 43, 44, and 45. And the last one is \0. It represents that string has ended over here. All right, so let's just write a program for a string. Let's just see a formal definition of string in Python. String in Python are shown as a variable type string. You can define a string by using double quotes or single quotes. If a string, if the string you are creating actually has one of the two values in it, then you need to be careful to assure that code doesn't gives an error. Let me just show you. I will cut this and add this in another block. My string, this says this is a string. All right, so let me run this one. Let's add another cell and print my string. This returns us, this is a string in single inverted commas. We can remove these single inverted commas if we write print, and then we say that you have to write whatever is there in my string. So let's just print it. It is showing us the exact same output but without those single inverted commas. You might be thinking that uh, what if my program has something, uh, has another inverted comma in it, or apostrophes as we say it. If we do this thing, then string apostrophe s and then an exclamation mark. So this should return an error. Let's just see what the error is. It just says that the syntax is invalid. What does this mean is that this isn't a way of defining a string. All of its content should be inside a single inverted commas or double inverted commas. So how we reduce this is by adding a backslash to it. So what this backslash do is that it tells our program that a ending, this isn't defining that the string has ended. Instead, it also is a part of string. Let's just run this and print my string again. So here it is. This is my string apostrophe s exclamation. Similarly, in this, Simon's skateboard is in the garage. Simon's apostrophe s can be done this way, and similarly for double inverted comma also this works. There are some other functions that I would like to tell you. It is a \n. If you have to change a line, suppose this is a string. Let me just remove this part from it. This is a string and I want this string to come in another line. Then what I will do is that I will add a \n and then I will print my string. Let me just add this into a single block so that I can. This is a string. See, a \n changes a line. I have to give one tab space for it. So I'll do \t and then I'll just run this tab. This is a string. One tab space, 8 spaces are there in one tab. So this is how it works. All right. Now let's just see how we can write multiple strings and then print them together. So here we have defined a variable first word and a second word. Hello there, they are. So the output should be hello there. Hello there. There isn't any space. So to add a space, what we can do is we can either write hello space there. This will give us space. Or what we can do is that we can remove this space, add some space before there, run this program. Or if we don't have to give any space there, what we can do is that we just use double inverted commas, give a space, and then again use addition to append all these things in one print function. And now it is again giving us hello there with space. There is also this, advantage of Python being an interactive programming language, that we can perform operations inside these print functions also. So our first word is hello. We want to write this program multiple times. What we will do, we will do first asterisk 5 multiply by 5. It should give us print 5 times hello. So we can also count the number of letters that are present in a string by doing a length function, length first word. So how many alphabets or letters are there? One, two, three, four, five. Five letters are there in hello world. So it should just return hello. Sorry, it should just return the length of hello, that is 5. Okay, so we can use Unicode characters encoding to print out the whatever thing that we want. So Unicode characters are something, they are a standard uh, of alphabets. So this is code for Unicode character Devanagari. That is Hindi language in computers. So what this is gonna write? This is gonna write core Python in Hindi. See, core Python. For those who don't know Hindi, this is correct way of, you know, actually not a correct spelling, but this is how you write core Python in Hindi. So there are also a lot of things that you can do. Let's just define, my string to be hello world. We can use it again, but let's just define this again. My string is equals to Tanishq. Sorry, Tanishq. All right, I'm really sorry. Yes, now it's correct. So let me initialize this. And as you can see that the first uh, character of my name is capital. So I want the whole string to be lower. To check, is my whole string lower? No, it is not lower. So it is returning a false. I can also do another function that is called is capital. It will also return false. Is capital, there isn't anything like is capital. Okay. Is lower. All right, so is lower is returning us false. Now what we will do is that we will count the number of times a is coming in my name. Here is one a and here is another a, so it should return 2. So my string dot count a, it should return 2. It is returning 2. Now another thing that I would like to show is that, all right, since we just saw that it is having indexes, 1 0 1 2 3. So if I want to change any one variable, or I just want to see what is there in second index, I can also do that. So let's just say my string, and in um, square brackets, let's see what is there in the second index. It should return n, as 0 1 2. 2 is n, and here it is returning us n. Correct. So let's just find where A is. It should return 1. It is going from there. It is starting from left and find returning the first wherever it encounters our given parameters. There is also this one very interesting thing in Python that not all programming languages have. It is called negative indexing. So let me just show it to you using an no whiteboard. So it is 1, no, it is -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. So if we say that what is there in -5 index, it will return us hello, it will return us h. Let me just show you. In -2 it should return k. C, -1 is a, -2 is k. It is advantages of interactive programming language, and they come very handy when you are doing a algorithm or you are solving a problem. They come very handy. So there is also this way of writing a string in Python, that is using these curly braces and then passing the output or anything that we passing the parameters that we want to put over here. It is similar to C, where we use percentage C, percentage F, etc., percentage D. So it is similar to that, but you don't have to pass anything here. You just have to give it a parenthesis. Sorry, not a parenthesis, just a set of curly braces, and pass whatever data you want to put it here there. So Mohammed has 27 balloons. We can change this and see that I'm not saying anything else. Yeah, correct. So we can also provide, instead of directly providing its value, we can also use references, like using variable. What is, let's just name an animal dog, and what a dog do is that it bite. Of course, don't get offended if you are having a dog. Does your dog bite? Yes, it bites sometimes. This should be our output. We are passing animal and then we are passing action. So the first animal variable will be passed into these curly braces and action will be passed into these curly braces. It is pretty interesting way of writing things down. So what else we can do? We can split a string using different types of things, different functions. Let me just show you. We are having a new string, that is the cow jumped over the moon, and the new string then gets split with no parameters. Okay, no parameters given, that means it takes spaces by default. The cow jumped over the moon, it is correct. All right, so just to mess up with this program, I will say that every time you encounter with a o, split this program. So what will happen is that the c wo only w jumped over, o will be the again skipped, and then we will see were the m and then n. This should be the output. C, no string there because there are two o's and nothing is there in between. So this is how it works. It was just a messed up program. I could have used anything else, but just to show you guys that how it works, I show you that. All right, what else we can do is, so we can also do is that we do a new string dot split and then tell our program that how many splits do we want, and after that we just want it to be one. So four spaces, the first four spaces should be split and rest of them should just be a one block. We are having this output, and if we just do a 2, it will only give us the output of the cow, and jumped over the moon will be in one block only. See, jumped over the moon in one block. This is what I was telling you about. Now let's just see what lists are. So to see list, let me just take you guys to something that is called data structures. If you have any experience in programming language, then you know data structures, they are a very big part of any programming language. So what are data structure? They are basically containers that organize group data into uh, group data together in different ways. Let's just say I have to, carry a data of student. I want its name, roll number, and marks in a list. What is a list? It is similar to what we use list in our day-to-day life, nothing else. So what Python do is that Python provides us something that is called built-in data structures. What they are predefined in memory, and they are very easy to implement. All you have to do is just use the right set of braces, and there you are, you can use them. So we'll be seeing each and every one of them in detail, as they play a very big role in programming. So list, dictionaries, tuple, set, these are built-in data structures. That means they are already defined in Python, but there are some data structures that we can define. Those are called user-defined data structures. They don't have a prefixed set. That means, if we have to develop a queue means, you can for now think of it as a line. So for implementing a queue, what we can do is that we will be creating our own functions, our own set of rules, and then make a program that works like a queue. Those are very interesting topics, but they will be covered in later videos. So let's just get started with a list. What is a list? A list is one of the most common basic data structures in Python. If you have, let's just define a list of random things. It is having an integer 1, it is having a float 3.4, it is having a string that is actually a string, and we are having a boolean that is true. All right, let us just initialize this. So list of random things 1, that means what is going to be this index? uh, this is going to be 0th index, this is going to be first index, second index, and third index. So this should return 3.4. What else we can do is that we can find out that what is a type of random list of random things in first index. All right, let's just run this. It is a float, but see what happens when I pass this whole list. It says it's a type of list. It is, you know such a useful thing in Python that if you have to do this thing in C++, you have to initialize it, you have to pass it through multiple loops, and just to write this thing down, you have to do lots and lots of things. But in Python, it is just a one liner. It is also having negative index, so the -1 will return us true. That is the last function. This is something new that I haven't told you, is that what will this do? So this defines a start point, and this defines a end point. Sorry for that mouse there. uh, so by default, uh, what is defined in Python is that if we have to print list of random things, it starts from 0 and ends at -1 by default. Let me just show you this. This is a string, sorry. It ends at 0 as well. Let me just show it to you. All right, it is also wrong, and then it just goes to the length of whatever it is. All right, so no need of passing the second variable, sorry. So this is how a list works, and if we just want to see what is there in the first, and go to the second, just there, we will be left with 3.4. That is the float, that is the first, that is having index 1, and the second, this one is included. Let me just show you to how it is. It is like this: included index, excluded index. This is how it works. We can also check whether there is something present in a list or not, just by simply writing 5, not in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 5 is not present in this list. That is why it is returning us true. If we write 5 in this list, it will return us false. All right, let's just also add 5 just to make sure that it runs perfectly. 5 is there, true. All right, let's just run this code line by line for a moment. you know okay, okay, come on, it is loading. It went to that, and it just returned us true in a single line. You know what this is? It means that it doesn't loop through all the points at a time. It is a linear time operation, and we will be covering more of this in the next video. Now we have a list that is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's just see, print my list by simply writing my list. All right, it is another error that is saying that wasn't expected. So what let's just do is that we change what is there in the 0th index. It is 1 a float. Let's just change it into a string. We ran it, and let's just print this one again. My underscore list. This works as 1. Boom. So that's it for this video. I believe it is already long. So this is how string work in Python. Thank you so much for this video, and see you later.